Hey YouTube, it's ShryphonX here. Today we're going to be talking about Boruto, 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 28. Like and subscribe for more content. Boruto, RE activates Karma. Is the end of Konoha near? Discover the spoilers for Boruto, 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 28. Boruto has activated Karma, but has he fully controlled his Otsutsuki heritage, or will Momoshiki make everyone's lives miserable? The chapter cover is in purple and features Sumire Keikei holding Boruto's sword. This sword was the one she was tasked to repair last chapter, and it could represent her feelings for him. Again, anime watchers will understand why she developed such feelings for Boruto. Editor's note: Inojin trains tirelessly to master a new jutsu for the upcoming battle against Mamushi. What is the power of this jutsu that will be crucial to the operation? The chapter begins with Inojin forming a seal with his fingers, creating a large water bubble that expands with a hand sign, resembling the sensing water sphere, but smaller. Boruto is impressed that Inojin was able to master the technique within a single day. Inojin, however, reminds Boruto that he is only here for the Leaf Village and Himawari, and he will never forgive him for his crime of treason, killing the 7th Hokage, Naruto. Boruto reciprocates the sentiment, stating that if Inojin makes Himawari cry, he will shave his head completely bald. Inojin looks confused, unaware that Boruto is actually Himawari's older brother. Boruto teleports, leaving Inojin even more bewildered, as from his perspective, Boruto is the one who destroyed the Uzumaki household. Back in the Leaf Village, Kudo interrogates Konohamaru, instructing him to leave and Mitsuki to take his turn. Sai telepathically contacts the sensor unit, requesting any communication between Konohamaru and a third party, particularly exchanges from the past few minutes. However, the sensor unit reports that it was merely a routine check-in last night, and no usage has been recorded in the past few minutes. This is because Inojin established a separate line for Konohamaru and Shikamaru. Despite this, Sai still glances at Konohamaru with suspicion. Kudo identifies Mitsuki as the child of the infamous Orochimaru, reminding the young man of his parents' crimes. Since Mitsuki was the closest to Boruto before his escape, Kudo interrogates him. Boruto's new sword. On a rooftop, Boruto inspects the repair blade. Sumire explains that the blade has been reshaped to maximize its strength and sharpness while preserving its guard. Additionally, the sword can activate Boruto's Uchiha-style Kenjutsu, Hagoromo on its own, as long as Boruto grips the hilt and performs the technique with a hand sign. The sword is programmed to automatically maintain the technique, saving the user chakra and eliminating the need for constant user input. Previously, using this technique required constant maintenance from a user to prevent the sword from chipping, which is a taxing feat of chakra control for Boruto. Now, the sword can maintain the technique without the user's constant input. Boruto observes that the blade subtly absorbs his chakra, but this design allows him to focus on the Hagoromo technique without concentration. The technique will persist as long as Boruto's extensive chakra can sustain it. However, Sumire installed a safety feature that drains the chakra of anyone not holding the sword more heavily. Only Sasuke and Boruto can use the sword safely, and as the one who remade it, Sumire's chakra is also registered. Boruto is impressed by how his traditional katana has evolved into a scientific ninja tool with built-in safety mechanisms. Sumire reveals another secret. The sword contains a special material infused into it. Was a new creature involved in the sword's creation? What secrets will Boruto's Sword of Kusanagi hold? It's worth noting that Sasuke is currently trapped and transformed into one of the human divine trees, Hidari. Pursuing the Sword of Kusanagi becomes a possibility, and he might be one of the exceptions. Every divine tree victim retains their jutsu, except for visual prowess. Will the new material be effective against Hidari's Chidori? Shikadai's conviction in the Hokage office. Shikamaru summons his son, Shikadai, and informs him of Boruto's involvement in an impending human divine tree attack. The Leaf Village will transform into a battlefield, and Shikadai will lead the operation. Shikadai is furious that this will happen after Shikamaru brings Boruto, the traitor, to his side. Shikadai seems to doubt his father's ability to be Hokage by forgiving someone who killed the previous Hokage. Shikamaru asserts his ability to Shikadai, saying that when he took the interim Hokage position, he promised in his heart that he would never waver in his convictions, just like Naruto did. He emphasizes that what he is doing now is not yielding to pressure or compromising his integrity. Given his unwavering commitment to protecting the Leaf, Shikamaru believes that Boruto's cooperation is absolutely necessary to combat the new human divine tree threat. If Shikadai still refuses to believe, that is his choice, and he can choose not to participate in the operation as it is not in order. However, Shikadai must not reveal any information discussed in the Hokage office to anyone else. From there, Shikadai can make his own decision. Shikadai insists that Shikamaru give him the order. Shikadai explains that Himawari will join the operation. Unlike Sarada, she wants to help Boruto despite her family being gone because of him. Chocho and Inojin cannot leave Himawari alone. Therefore, Shikadai will put his personal feelings about Boruto aside and stake his life on the Hokage's orders as a shinobi. Multiple singularities of fate ruined Ten Directions' power back in Koji's hideout. Inojin questions why Koji didn't share more details about his visions if he knew everything that would happen. Koji explains that even if Inojin knew he was going to die, would he have charged towards Jura for Himawari's sake? If Inojin knew he would hesitate with the knowledge of dying, his legs would instinctively freeze, and he wouldn't be able to move. And if Inojin survived then, would Himawari's power have awakened by then? Koji's point is that if he tells anyone the future he saw, it will change slightly. The more ideal the future outcome, the less people need to know about it. Even if someone told people about the future with good intentions, it could trigger unexpected developments that are far beyond the initial prediction. Those who know of the fragmented future become singularities of fate, such as Boruto, Ida, and Koji himself. Thanks to their awareness, their actions influence the course of events to follow. The more singularities of fate there are, the more the future branches out into complex possibilities, making prediction difficult and the 10 directions near useless. Sharing information must always be done with the utmost caution. Inojin concludes that since Koji isn't sharing much to anyone, by going with the flow, things will lead into a better direction. Koji is a consequentialist at heart. He says that whether you are right or wrong, the answer comes when you reach the outcome. Koji remarks that they now have enough information, but the fight will depend on Boruto and Shikamaru's decisions. We then see two visions, of Ida being consumed by Mamushi and becoming a tree, and Himawari dying in Inojin's arms. Koji seeks a way to prevent both Ida or Himawari's deaths. Shikamaru has now made contact with his entire group. Team 7, consisting of Sarada and Mitsuki, led by Kanomaru. Team 10, consisting of Shikadai and Chocho, with Inojin staying with Koji, Ida, and Demon, with Samayer and Sarada staying there. Kawaki, Delta, and of course Boruto and Kashin Koji. These are the only 13 individuals who will be part of Shikamaru's operation. Shikamaru reminds them that this transmission is on an unofficial channel. First, Shikamaru explains the selection criteria. They are looking for individuals who have no hostility towards Boruto for the upcoming battle. Kawaki is the most hesitant among them. Boruto is currently labeled as a traitor and a target for elimination, so there will be interference. The team's mission is to help Boruto move around the Leaf Village while remaining on high alert for any enemy threats. Next, Shikamaru explains the nature of their transmission. They will use a Yamanaka clan technique called a mind transmission jutsu, invented by Inojin. There is a scientific ninja tool frog in front of the sensing water sphere created by Inojin. Shikamaru's office frog transmits the bubble, allowing him to identify the location of any target and coordinate the team's movements. Shikamaru then explains Mamushi's abilities. He can split into distinct, independent copies of equal strength and erase his chakra signature, making him undetectable by the leaf sensing barrier. This is where Inojin's new jutsu comes into play. Inojin explains that their communication will be the same as the regular mind transmission jutsu, but each person will act like a receiver and can detect the vibrations of objects in their immediate vicinity, similar to echolocation. Whether living or not, each object emits its own vibration frequency. Since chakra sensing won't work in finding Mamushi, they'll use echolocation instead. Shikadai is impressed that Inojin mastered such a jutsu in a short span of time. After the long preface, Shikamaru delves deeply into Mamushi's abilities, countermeasures, and the details of the operation. Suddenly, the water sphere bubbles wildly in every direction, indicating Mamushi's arrival in the Leaf Village. A Mamushi copy asks a random Leaf civilian where Ida is. Shikamaru tells Inojin to calm down as he'll locate the enemy, which are in Area C, 8 in total and spaced 30 meters apart. Koji tells Boruto that the nearest shape is Keyhole, which enables Boruto to use the flying Raijin Jutsu and bring himself to a frog holding Keyhole. Page 29 offers a sneak peek. Boruto's teleportation, Shikamaru's frustration that Mamushi's arrival came too early, Koji's remark that fate has been altered way too much, and Kawaki's reaction to Mamushi's arrival. Ida is disgusted by the sight of multiple Mamushis and feels like throwing up, but Demon promises to protect her. Sarada attempts to go after Mamushi, but Shikamaru orders her to stay put and reminds her that the Mamushis will scatter over a wide area. Shikamaru assigns Team 10 to the eastern part of District D, while Team 7 heads for the northern part of District B. Sarada might encounter Hidari here, suggesting that with the 3 remaining human divine trees in the Leaf Village, this could be the final arc to quell this species' threat to the planet. Shikamaru checks on Mitsuki, who is still confined to the interrogation room. Shikamaru instructs him to remain still, but allows Mitsuki to move at the opportune moment, finding any chance amidst the chaos to assist. Mamushi's target is Ida, who resides in the eastern part of District A of the Leaf Village. Boruto will employ flying Raijin Jutsu to swiftly traverse each location and eliminate the bugs. Kawaki will provide support based on the situation, as per Shikamaru's orders, considering Kawaki's tendency to disregard orders. Back in District C, the civilians confront the Mamushi copy, accusing him of being a perverted old man. From the second floor of another building, the original Mamushi instructs its comrade to kill the civilians, but not to destroy the buildings to avoid Jura's disapproval. The men encounter 2 Mamushi and are puzzled by the unfolding events. Before Mamushi could make a move, Boruto swiftly cuts down the copy. One of the unreleased pages serves as the second sneak peek, showcasing Boruto being pursued by a Mamushi copy in an alleyway. Boruto's rampage will end the Leaf. The chapter concludes with Boruto unleashing Mamoshiki's power for the first time since the initial series, utilizing karma. This pivotal moment is likely to significantly impact the current arc's outcome, as Mamoshiki's potential takeover could lead to a rampage that could potentially spell the end for the Leaf Village. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe for more content. ShryphonX out.